All right, so we just covered the recent updates around the DELPHI case and Richard Allen's lawyers being removed. So I wanted to dig into, and I think quite a few of you did too, with all the comments we're getting on these videos and everything, who exactly is Judge Francis C. Gull? Right?
Yeah, it's important.
What is the background there with the decisions that are being made? So, it's interesting. It's interesting. Now, Francis M. C. Gull has been on the bench for 25 plus years. She does have a religious affiliation, which I think could be interesting when taking into account like why certain decisions are made and things like that. Now, should it ever happen? No, but does it help connect dots? You know what I mean?
What's her religious affiliation?
Lutheran.
Okay.
Now, I'm not putting any religion down, but there are certain factions out there that that tend to be a little more. I guess I should say they tend to be more focused around image.
Yeah.
So it looks like this gives her salary, but so her current position is an elected position.
Oh.
Yeah, so last election won was November 3rd of 2020, and she won by 100% of the votes.
Was she even going against someone else then? Probably not.
It doesn't say, but probably not. Now, she does, that position expires in 2026. Now, background, okay? So she was first elected judge in 1996 and has been reelected 4 times. She went to Valparaiso University in 1983, bachelor's degree from St. Joseph's College in 1980, and has been a licensed attorney since May 15th of 1984. So, like, when I'm looking at judges, I'm seeing all good signs here, right?
Yeah.
These are all good things. Have been practicing law for a very, very long time.
She's well seasoned.
Yeah, a lot of experience. The people like her, unless there's somebody not running against her, but still, there are people voting for her. It shows the vote count. You know what I mean? People are voting for her. But yeah, I found it super interesting. Her license to practice law in Indiana is active and in good standing. She has no disciplinary action. None. No disciplinary actions against her to going from her voted position to 7/1 of 2011. Now, it looks like the person that I'm reading this from has sent requests to find out if we can dig further from 1997 to see if there has been anything from there. I was doing digging, I was searching, I couldn't find anything.
Yeah, well, I'm also curious, like, when a judge messes up, how often are they given a disciplinary action, like a write-up, basically? How you know what I mean? How often are they really, truly held accountable?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I didn't look up those stats, but that's a good question to ask, is how often does this even happen? Does it get swept under the rug? Or not necessarily swept under the rug, but is it handled in a different way?
They get a little pass, yeah, because they're a well-experienced judge, and you made this little mistake, we'll let that slide.
Right, right. So Judge Francis C. Gull has served as a judge excuse me, in the Allen Superior Court since January 1st, 1997. Now, from 1990 to 1996, Judge Gull was Chief Deputy Prosecutor, Allen County Prosecutor's Office, and it says, with other titles throughout this time span, including Chief Counsel of the Criminal Division, Deputy Prosecuting Attorney of the Sex Crimes Unit, and Section Chief of Felony Division. again, I hear all great things there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
1988 to 1989, magistrate for Allen Circuit Court. 1987 to 1990, prosecutor for Allen County Prosecutor's Office. 1984 to 1987, traffic court referee for Allen Superior Court. 1983 to 1984, law clerk, family and criminal divisions in Allen Superior Court. 1981 to 1982, legal secretary for Stuart Hyvonen, attorney at law. Now, she's also done some teaching, and she has quite a few recognitions here. In 2015, G. Thomas Munsterman Award, National Center for State Courts for work to make jury management more effective and more representative. 2003, Fort Wayne Fire Department Community Service Award for contributions to diversity training. 2002, Hometown Hero Award by Indiana District 10, Little League Baseball. 2002, Citizen of the Year Award, Fort Wayne Journal-Gazette. 1997, recognition for outstanding contribution to STOP, S-T-O-P, grant judges and prosecutors training by the Indiana Coalition Against Domestic Violence. 1996, Fraternal Order of Police Special Award for outstanding service with the Allen County Law Agencies. 1995, Patrolmen's Benevolent Association Law Enforcement Oscar Award for outstanding achievement and service. So, I was doing some digging into her background, and apparently she helped start this program for essentially it's at-risk gun owners. So, what that means, based on everything that I could tell, is she created a program and managed this law where, let's say I had a mental breakdown, okay, and I shouldn't have guns, or my family members believe I shouldn't have guns. Apparently, you can go to the court and submit something, and then a judge oversees that decision and can take those guns that are listed away.
Okay.
But it doesn't stop that person from buying more guns, so...
well, that's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, it is kind of strange. But ultimately, so where I'm going here is everything that I'm reading says that the Honorable Francis C. Gull has done a lot of really positive work as a judge. So, where is the disconnect here?
Yeah.
Where's the disconnect? I think this judge is making a lot of very poor decisions in this situation. And is this going to turn into something where people are going to start digging into past cases and they are going to find that Judge Gull has been doing this a long time?
Yeah, that
taking things out of record?
Uncover bias, uncover her, taking things out of the court case filings and stuff like that. I'm curious if they're going to find that too. It doesn't, I mean, these are lawyers who are all practicing in Indiana, and it doesn't seem that it happens. Like,
yeah.
It seems like it's a her thing, but we don't know for sure. So I'm really curious about that. See, my suspicion, okay, is that nowadays, we're seeing this with almost every high-profile case. They're gagging and sealing everything.
Yes.
They don't want the public involved. They don't want anybody knowing anything. My suspicion is she really didn't like this, because I feel like what the defense did here with this Franks motion, the Franks motion, okay, was to get rid of the search warrant, saying that Tony Liggett lied.
Yeah.
He made stuff up, and he lied to get that search warrant, which makes it null and void, invalid. So in order to substantiate that, they had to write this Franks memorandum to explain how he lied, how he didn't investigate this other angle, and the witnesses. It's very...
And the why.
And the why.
Yeah.
And the why.
From their opinion.
Right. After going through all the discovery that the state gave to them, they put this all together and were like, whoa, this guy's lying. He's not looking at this. He's not, there's a mess up with the witnesses who saw this person on this day, It's interesting. But I feel like she sees that as a workaround to get around a gag order, and the sealing of all of this. And everybody in the media was saying this is the attorneys, trying to taint the jury pool and do all of this stuff. And also, it's salacious. It's juicy. It's a cult murder of this unsolved murder of these two beautiful, sweet young girls all these years ago. And to find out something like this, it's crazy.
It is.
And I feel like that was looked down on very poorly by other officials in the court system.
Yep. It's not standard practice.
It's not standard for this to happen, which it doesn't mean it's wrong.
No,
I think what they
doesn't.
did was right. I think that transparency to the public is incredibly important. I think that it's kind of messed up that we never knew anything about what happened to these little girls. I think it's important, and I think that the truth needed to be told.
Yeah.
And while I don't think the 100% truth is in that document, that's not what I'm saying. There is truths in there.
Yeah. I agree with you. No, I agree with you 100%. And, analyzing that Frank's motion, I go back to also where I think that they were taking multiple angles with this, okay? So, because remember, they also were involved in these situations where attorney-client privilege, they should be able to just go see their client when they want. But because he was moved, it forced them to have to call ahead of time. That is not okay. That's not okay. That is never, ever, ever supposed to happen. He was put into a holding cell, an area for convicted criminals. He is not a convicted criminal yet. He is still innocent until proven guilty, and they put him there claiming that it was for his own safety, which then caused the attorneys to not be able to just show up whenever they want, which red flags, right? In my opinion, red flags.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, and they weren't, even when they did come, these guards were supposedly standing outside recording them.
Exactly.
So he never got his attorney-client privilege.
Exactly. And that's where I was going with that, was that they also have this evidence that they're adding to it. So if I'm his attorneys, right, and I want to get this information out and done in a way where if I put a little bit out there, the prosecution is going to pick up on this and squash it out. They're going to do whatever it takes to stop it before it happens. Or do I put everything out there, all of it at once, and it cannot be squashed then because it is public record at that point, and there is nothing you can do.
Well, it's important. Things being public record is important. This is how we know our justice system is operating the way it should be.
Yep, honestly. Now, could that, when you have a judge, okay? Could that, when you have a judge who has been on the bench from the mid-'80s, or maybe she was still in school at the mid, I don't think. Oh yeah, an attorney.
97.
So yeah. So a judge that had been practicing law since the mid-'80s because she was an attorney and going to law school and was actually working in a law office in 81 or 1980. Did she look at this because she has been practicing law so long and that created the disgust and bias? And remember, you guys, this is the second judge over the Richard Allen case. The first judge stepped down last year. Mm-hmm. Last year in November, I think it was, Judge Benjamin Diener, and we didn't get any reason why. Judges are allowed to step down. They are absolutely allowed to do that. If they feel like they're looking at a case improperly, there's some sort of bias, they don't feel like they can be fair, that they can be just, he essentially signs Richard Allen to be moved from the jail to the prison and immediately steps down after that. Yeah. Is there something weird there? I don't know, but whatever, okay? I'm just using him as an example for why Gull could step down if there was bias there.
She could, and that would be the honorable right thing to do. If you're having bias, if you can't look at this objectively, remove your own personal feelings about the defendant or this crime, there's something wrong there. And I think
wrong, but it's wrong if you don't step down.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you can't look at that and be like, okay, I can't do this because I'm not looking at this objectively anymore. It's personal.
Right.
So I need to step down. If you can't do that, there's something wrong.
Yeah. I look at this and wonder, okay, because I always try and look at everything optimistically, right? I guess we'll start with the worst view, okay? That she is a bot judge and involved in this horrible, fraudulent situation some way. That's the worst case scenario. Yeah. Now, I tend to always look at things from an optimistic point of view and think, okay, maybe this is a situation of old dogs don't learn new tricks type thing. You have somebody that's been in law from 1980, and they look at this Frank's motion or the memorandum and think, what are these lawyers doing? Oh my gosh, and got so offended by this when they felt like it was their only option that she started judging unfairly.
Yeah, I almost wonder, sometimes certain types of people can kind of get on a power trip. And I wonder if that bias caused her to kind of get on a power trip. Like, all of this is not okay. I'm striking this from the record. It is not okay. I don't want it here. It shouldn't even be a part of this case. And that's really unfortunate. Like, roll with the punches, dude. Deal with it as it comes.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be stricken from the record. Like, why does it have to be...
breaking the law.
Right. Why does it have to be removed? Why?
Yeah, just be a judge and judge the
Deny
the case.
it or seal it. You know what I mean?
Agreed. It comes off very strange and very shady.
Dishonest. It comes off incredibly dishonest. And the thing is we the public already got this. We are requesting these documents as soon as they're dropping because we want them, because we know they're going to disappear right afterwards.
Yep.
And everyone is, from what I've seen. Sleuthy Goosey is doing it. Defense Diaries, Bob Mata is doing it.
Yep.
We're doing it. Everybody's doing it because we know. Like, they're probably going to get removed.
Absolutely.
And we want that evidence, and we got it posted everywhere. So
we do.
Despite whether or not you want to remove them, Judge Gull, the public's got them in their hands now.
Yep.
So you're not hiding anything at this point. You're just making yourself look really bad.
Yeah. Agreed.
I feel like this is almost going to become like... I don't think people want to go protest this like Karen Reed because of the tragedy of this crime with kids being involved, but it could become something like that.
It absolutely could become something like that.
And I don't think anybody wants to defend Richard Allen per se. It's defending the right to a fair trial and for us to know what happened to these little girls, to know if he's the one who's responsible for taking their lives from this world. These were really good girls.
Yeah.
They were just out there, trying to have a good time. They were exploring clearly on social media and stuff, like any little kid does, coming into their own. They were at that age where they were exploring in that way.
Yeah.
And it's just so sad.
It really is. And here's the kicker, okay? This is the end of it, the last statement here. So, what Judge Gull, the conclusion that Judge Gull came to after what we just talked about with the attorneys striking from the record and the history of the court documents, literally removing them, like I said, and luckily we were able to get them before any of that happened. Literally the day they dropped, we were able to get them. But she then goes so far to deny all media coverage all of it.
Yeah, now that she's got her
Everything.
new attorneys in there that she wants,
Yep.
I find it very interesting that cameras were put in that courtroom on the day she was planning to remove them. And that's the only day she has allowed them. Is the day,
I
because
know.
she wanted to set them up.
I know.
She literally set them up.
I know.
She put those cameras there so that they would have to step down.
Yep. She like I said,
And then she's not
try-
responsible. They stepped down. I'm not responsible. They did it on their own.
I try to be optimistic, but the more that happens here,
I kind of can't be at this point, to be
Yeah.
honest.
yeah,
This is just...
I hope they pursue this. I really do. I hope
Oh.
the attorneys pursue this.
They're not giving up. I already know they're not.
In the pursuit of justice. And look, the law is not there for judges to have their way with it. That is not what it's there for. It is there for the public, and these are public servants. So,
Well, we had one commenter say a judge is like a referee.
Yeah.
That is what they are there to do. They are there to like manage the two teams, okay? And make sure they're communicating, they're being honest, they're presenting the best evidence, they're making decisions over, what goes down. They're a referee.
yeah.
Like they're not meant to be controlling them and puppeting them. And I want to know, where's McLeland? Where are you? Because your sole job is to expose the truth, is to get justice, get the truth. Right now, the only person in this entire courtroom, which the judge and the prosecutor should be the ones gunning for the truth, the
And
defense
justice, yeah.
is the only one gunning for the truth right now.
Yeah.
And McLeland may be taking a back seat like, whoa. You
This
know what
is
I mean?
crazy.
What do I do?
Yeah.
Like, he may not know what move to make, but I really hope he is not on that judge's side.
I hope not.
Because
not.
that shows major issues with him and worries about him, makes me worry about him being on the case.
I agree. I just hope this doesn't turn into a case where, you have a few officers that are making really bad decisions, and now all of a sudden you have prosecutors, judges, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're putting someone's life on the line here. And what if Richard Allen is innocent? This is awful.
Yeah.
Awful, but
Yeah.
I want to
really
know what
is.
you guys think. And, what is Judge Gull optimistically biased? Or do you feel like Judge Gull is a fraud?
Yeah. Like, straight up
Yeah.
pocket judge.
Yep. Let us know.